Hey guys, welcome back once again. This is Shrikant Rathod here. Today's topic is factorial. So let's start in detail. Factorial of a positive integer n denoted by an exclamatory mark is the product of all the positive integers less than or equal to n. So let's take let's take an example. The value of n factorial I can write as n times n minus 1 times n minus 2 times till I get the last digit as 1. Example, 5 factorial, we can write it as 5 times 5 minus 1 times 5 minus 2 times 5 minus 3 times 5 minus 4. Don't do 5 minus 5, then become the last digit becomes 0, and the 0 multiplied by any number it's going to be 0. So we have to stop it here. So what is this results now? The 5 times 4, 5 minus 1 is 4 times 5 minus 2 it's gonna be 3, 5 minus 3 it's gonna be 2, 5 minus 4 it's gonna be 1. So 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So that's 5 times 4 20, 20 times 3 60, 60 times 2 is gonna be 120. The value of 5 factorial here is 120. The simple way, whichever the number they are saying, keep reduce it by 1 till you get the last digit of 1 and keep multiplying them. Okay, that is the way of solving the factorial questions. They may ask in any ways, like example they may say, let me take another example. There may be a question relating with, let's say, 5 factorial by 2 factorial times 3 factorial, anything. So you have to do it in the same way. This can be written as 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 over. So what is the 2 factorial? You can say 2 factorial, you can write 2 times 1 times 3 factorial can be written as 3 times 2 times 1, right? So simplify now. 2 and 2 get cancelled out, 3 and 3 get cancelled out here, 2 times 1, 2 times 2. So this entire result here is 5 times 2 is 10, 10 times 1 is going to be 10. And then the result of the 5 factorial divided by 2 factorial times 3 factorial is 10. Right? So whether multiplication, division, whichever is there, you can do it in this way. Okay. So there are few points needs to know about the factorial. The first point what we need to know here is factorial of negative number is undefined. The factorial of negative number is undefined. Example, I can't say negative 3 factorial or negative 8 factorial. These numbers are undefined. The factorial of negative number does not exist in general, I can say. So another note what we can remember here is the value of 0 factorial is 1. The value of 1 factorial here is 1. So 2 factorial here is 2 because 2 times 1. 3 factorial here is 6. 3 times 2 times 6. 4 factorial here is 1 of 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, like that. So 4 times 3 is 12, 12 times 2 is going to be 24, and so on and so on. Now look at to this one. The result of factorial is odd if and only if your numbers are either 0 or 1. The result of the factorial number here, these are the only odd. The result of the factorial is odd if your number is 0 or 1. And the result of all the number, whether the numbers are even or odd, doesn't matter. After 1, these all the result is always it's gonna be even, so this result is gonna be even, like 2 here, 6, 24, and so on. These all are the even. But in the question, remember, if they are using the result or the value of the factorial is an odd number, it means they are talking about the 0 factorial or 1 factorial, and they say the value of n is an even or value of n factorial is an even number, then that number may be any number including 2, like it starts with the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, any. So because the result is always going to be even, right? Let's see. So what are the other things I need to know about the factorial, and I can say where we make use of the factorial. So the mainly is we can also use the factorial in the permutation and the combinations, like finding in how many ways the things can be arranged or ordered. That I'll be considering in detail when I go to the topic, that is statistics. So here another application or the use of the factorial is to find the trailing zeros. Now what you mean by a trailing zeros? A trailing zeros are a sequence of zeros in the decimal representation, or more generally in any positional representation of a number, after which no other digit follows. Okay, so what does it mean? Let's take an example. If I have a number, let's take 123.45000, it means this decimal representation has the three trailing zeros, because after zeros there are no other numbers. So here I can say this number has three trailing zeros. Another example, I can say 125,000. So here it is not necessary that number to be decimal, anything. This has how many? 4. So this number has 4 trailing zeros. Okay, let's take another example. So I can say 123.00400. Let me say 000. Okay, so now look at here, how many trailing zeros? The condition for number to be trailing zero is after that there should not be any digit, but I can't consider here these two zeros as the trailing, because after that the digit 4 is here. So the trailing zeros we count here onwards. How many? 1 2 3 4 5. So this has 5 trailing zeros, right? So this is the meaning of trailing zeros. Okay, sometime you get a question to find the number of trailing zeros in a n factorial. So they'll give you example, find the number of trailing zeros in 20 factorial. It means 20 factorial is ending with the how many number of zeros. So when you simplified them, like 20 times, 19 times, 18 times till you go till 1, when you multiply all those number and what the end result you get, that end result has how many zeros. That's the finding the number of trailing zeros for n factorial. So to find a number of trailing zeros for n factorial, we need to use this rule. Please use the formula here. Formula to find the number of trailing zeros for n factorial, just take it as n divided by 5 plus n by 5 square plus n by 5 cube plus n divided by 5 to the power k, where k must be chosen such that 5 to the power k value is less than n. So this is the condition. So you have to choose the value of k such that 5 to the power k value, this result should be smaller than the value of n what we consider. Okay, this is the formula to find the how many trailing zeros any a positive factorial number. So this is the formula what we use, where k is an integer. We select the value of k such that my entire result 5 to the power k is less than n. So now you may ask here, why I am dividing by 5? The one thing is, just remember this rule to find the trailing zeros. Another thing, the purpose of dividing by 5 is 5 is the digit which decides how many zeros a number has. Okay, so that is the reason we are dividing it by 5. Let's take an example. Here. I can say a 10. 10 is basically 2 times 5. So 5, it means like multiples of how many multiples of 10 are there in that number. So 10 can be written as 2 times 5. So here there is 1 2 and 1 5, but when I write it as 20, so 20 can be written as 2 times 5, right? So it's basically 2 square times 5. So even though the number of 0 is decided by how many 2's and how many 5's are there, but the exactly the number of zero is said as like how many fives are there, not the twos, because there may be like more than five twos, more than more twos compared to 5. So the number of 0 is decided by the digit 5. That's the reason we're dividing by 5. Okay. Let's take an example here. Let's take example of, before that let me erase it so we have a space. Okay, let's find. So example says how many zeros are in, let's take the end of 32 factorial. How many zeros are in the end of 32 factorial? So question is, it's basically find the trailing zeros of 32 factorial. So we have to make use of this rule. So our value of n here is gonna be 32, right? So substitute the value of n here, then how it becomes? It becomes like, a 32 divided by 5 plus 32 divided by 5 square. 32 plus 32 divided by 5 cube. I can't go to that word because 32 divided by 5 cube. 5 cube is 125. So 125 is greater than 32. So I just stop here. Now 32 divided by 5, what you get? You will be getting it as 6.4 something. You will be getting it as 6.4 plus the 32 divided by 25, you will be getting it as 1 point some value, so divided by 25, so 1.6 something. So when you are finding the trailing zeros, so you should ignore the decimal part. Don't consider the decimal part, just consider the whole number, that is 6 and 1. So you just need to add 6 plus 1, that is 6 plus 1, that is total. The 7 trailing zeros are there in the 32 factorial. So what does it mean? So 32 factorial has the numbers like, number may be x times y times z, or any big number ending with the 7 zeros. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So these are the trailing zeros of the 32 factorial here. This is the way of calculating. All right. Okay. So this is the way how we calculate. Let me take another example relating with this. Let me just erase this part. Sorry. Let me just erase this part and we'll take another example. All right. Okay, perfect. Okay, great. So how many zeros are there? Now question is, how many zeros are there in the end of, let's take example 63 factorial. So to find the how many zeros here, follow the same rule, same formula. The formula which we are using is this one. So I can say 63 divided by 5 plus 63 divided by 5 square plus 63 divided by 5 cube, that is 125. Still you can't do here, so that is you can stop here itself. So 63 divided by 5, I'll be considering the whole part. It's as good as 60 divided by 5 is 12, as we are ignoring the decimal part, plus 60 divided by 25. 25 times 2, it's gonna be 15. 25 times 3 is gonna be 75. So it is exceeding, so I'll be taking total. There are 14 trailing zeros in the 63 factorial. So this is how we calculate, right? Let's see other concept relating with this factorial. Other most common type of question what you may expect is finding the number of powers of prime number p in n factorial. So finding the number of powers. So let's take example, what is the power of 2 in, let's take 20 factorial, or what is the power of 5 in 32 factorial. These are the examples. To find what is the power of a prime number p in the given n factorial. So we can use the formula here. So formula to find this one is n by p plus n by p square plus n by p cube plus so on n by p to the power k, where the value of k has chosen that, where the value of k should be selected in the way that p to the power k should be less, p to the power k should be less than n. This is the condition what I need to follow. We'll be selecting the value of k in such a way that p to the power k should be less than n. This same like the previous one, but instead of 5 I am representing the p, and where p is a prime number, any prime number, and the n is the integer which they have given in to find the factorial. Let's take an example. Let's take an example here. Example, it says what is the power of, what is the power of 2 in 25 factorial. So it means how, what is the power of 2, how many times the prime number 2 has appeared in that 25 factorial. To find the power of 2 in a 25 factorial, so that's what we do. Formula here is, and this is the rule what we follow. This is the rule what we follow here. So I'll be replace n, we have like the 25, so we can say 25 by 2 plus 25 by 2 square, 25 by 2 cube plus 25 by 2 to the power 4. 2 to the power 4 is what? 16 plus 25 by 32. I can't go beyond because so like 22 to the power 5, it's gonna be 32. So I can't go beyond here. So let me erase this part. So this is how we represent. This is equivalent to, I can say, 25 divided by 2. What we gonna get? So it's 25 by 2 plus 25 by 4 plus 25 by 8 plus 25 by 16, all that's it. So 25 by 2, as I told, whenever you are dividing, so actually I'll be getting the answer here as, when we divide, so we'll be getting here as 12.5 plus 25 by 4, it's gonna be 6.25 plus 25 by 8, it's gonna be 3.125 plus the 25 by 16, it's gonna be 1.625 or something. As I told, we have to consider only the whole number, that is, we have to ignore the decimal part. So I should consider here 12, I should consider here 6, 3 and 1. So add them all, that gives you the how many the 2's are there in 25 factorial, that is 12 plus 6 plus 3 plus 1. So what is the total we are adding up to getting here? 12 plus 6 is 18, 18 plus 3 21, 21 plus 1, it's going to be 22. So I can say there are 22 times 2 is appearing in the 25 factorial. So this is how I can represent 25 factorial is equivalent to 2 to the power 22 times some other number 3 4 5, 3 to the power x times 5 to the power y times 7 to the power z, and so on. I have no idea. Okay, so because the question was relating with the how many, what is the power of 2 in this factorial, like in the 25 factorial, just we found for this. If they are asking you what is the power of 3 in the same question like 25 factorial, yes, you can do it in the same way. So I'll be just discussing, replacing 2 here with the 3. Let me just repeat the same for the 3. Let me take the same example. What is the power of 3 in 25 factorial. So approach and the formula here is same. So I'll be doing it like 25 by 3 plus 25 by 3 square plus let's say 25 by 3 cube, that is 27, right? So 3 cube is 27. Then just stop it here. So 25 by 3, so what we are getting here, 3 times 8 is gonna be 24. I'm getting it as 8.33 something. Just I'll be considering the whole part it as 8. You have to consider the number which is perfectly divisible. 3 times 8 is 24. I'm taking it as 8 because the result is 8.12 or 1333 something, or 8.33 actually. So I'm just considering it as the whole number, that is 8 plus 25 divided by 9. So 9 times 1, 9 times 2 is 18, 9 times 3 is 27. So your result will be 2 point something, right? So I'll be just considering it as a whole number, it as 2. So 8 plus 2 total 10. So it means like the 25 factorial has, by referring to the previous one, 2 to the power 22 times 3 to the power 10 times 5 to the power y, and so on, because they may ask you what is the power of 5 in this given factorial. Okay, that is 2, 3, 5, 7. These all are the prime numbers. So this is how you calculate how many, what is the power of a prime number in the given factorial. Let's say in the same way you may also expect what is the power of a non-prime number in a given factorial. It is not necessary that the question relating is only with the prime number. They may also ask you the power of non-prime in a given factorial. Let's say what is the power of, let's take 50 in a 25 factorial, because 50 is not a prime number, right? So we have to do how to solve it. That let's see. Let's consider the next, finding the number of powers of a non-prime in n factorial. So to find the number of powers of a non-prime in n factorial, so this is what we need to look at. The formula here is same. So first thing, let me take better example. Question says, how many, or let me just say, let it, instead of saying how many, let me just say it is, what is the power of power of 300, what is the power of 300 in 32 factorial. Let's take what is the power of 300. So if I write it in a simple way, 32 factorial can be written as 300 to the power what, some value, times some other numbers are there, but I'm looking particularly for what is the power of 300 in this 32 factorial. They may also ask what is the power of 100 or 50 or 25 in 32 factorial. Anything, concept remains the same. So how do we solve this question? So first thing what you need to do is write this 300 into their prime factors. Write the 300 into their in terms of only prime. So 300 can be written as 3 times 100, right? This further I can say it like 3 times 100 can be written as 4 times what, 25, isn't it? So that's, we can say 3 times 4 can be written as 2 square, and 25 can be written as 5 square, like. And this is how, like, these are the powers of 2 and 3 and the 5s, isn't it? So it means to say that to make a 300 I should have 1 3 multiplied by 2 2's multiplied by 2 5's, because the power it is saying that I'm using 5 2 times, 2 2 times, and the 3 1 times. So that is the meaning. So now as we know that I need to find now how many 30, how many 3's are there in 32 factorial, and how many 2's are there in 32 factorial, and how many 5's are there in 32 factorial. It's the same way like what we did before, right? Okay. So let's see example, and to find the number of primes, so I'll be using the same rule, isn't it? So first, what is the rule we have? N over P plus N over P square plus N over P cube, all n over p to the power k, where p to the power k should be less than n. This is the rule to find the number of primes. So now let's find the power of 2. As we previously did the power of 2, we got it as how much? Let's see, or let's do it. Finding the power of 2. To find the power of 2, what we do? We can say it like, 32 by 2 plus 32 by 2 square plus 32 by 2 cube plus 32 by 2 to the power 4. I can't go 2 to the power 5 because 2 to the power 5, it's gonna be what? It's gonna be 32, right? So I should take the value which is less than, value of n should be less than, value of p to the power k should be less than n. So I can't take equal to, so we have to stop it here itself. So 32 divided by 2, it's gonna be 16 plus 32 divided by 4, because 2 square is going to be 4. 32 divided by 4 is going to be 8 plus 32 divided by 8. 2 cube value is 8. So this is the value here, we get it as 8, right? So 32 divided by 8, what we get? 4 plus 32 divided by 16, it's gonna be 2. So add up that all. So what we are getting here? 18 16 plus 8 is going to be 24, 24, 28, 30. So the power of this one we are getting to here as 30 we are getting. Now same thing, find the power of 3 as we already did. Find the power of 3, right? So we'll be doing it like 32 by 3 plus 32 by 3 square plus 32 by 3 cube. So here I can say 32 by 3 cube. This is 3 square, okay? 3 cube, because 3 cube is 27. So now do 32 divided by 3. So what are you gonna get? You're gonna get it like 10.66. So I'll be just considering the whole part as 10 plus 32 divided by 9. So 9 times 1, 9 times 2 is 18, 9 times 3 is going to be 27, right? So 32 divided by 20, 9, it gives you approximately 3.3 something. So I'll be just taking it as 3 plus 32 divided by 27. It gives 1.66 something. So I'll just considering the whole number as 1. So add up all, what you get here, you will be getting the result here as 10 plus 3 plus 1, total 14. It means like, 3 to the power 14. It means like 3 has 14, 3 appeared 14 times in 32 factorial. Now let's find the last part. Find the power of 5. So I'll be doing now 32 by 5 plus 32 by 5 square. I won't be going next because 32 by 5 cube. 5 cube value is 125 and which is much greater than 32. So just stop it. So 32 divided by 5. So you'll be getting it as 6.4. So I'll be getting it and taking it just it as in 6 plus 32 divided by 25. So you'll be getting it as 1.25. So I'll be just taking it as 1. So whole number. So the power of 5 in the 32 factorial is 7. So as I told, to make a 300, I need to have like minimum 2 5s, minimum 2 2s and the minimum 1 3, right? So which one is the limiting factor in? Even though, look at, even though if I have like many 2s are available or many 3s are available, I have to make the 300 that is equivalent to the limiting factor or lesser than the limiting factor, because no matter how many 2s are there or 3s are there, if you don't have 5s to multiply, then your number can't be 300, right? So that's the reason the limiting factor here, the limiting factor is 5. So I can make how many, I can make the number of 300 depends on the digit 5. So 5 has appeared 7 times in that. So now we know that, so 300, as we said, it should be 3 to the power 1 times 2 to the power 2 times 5 to the power 2. So now how many 300s I can make now? So because 5, how many 300s I can make now here? So if I write it here, 3 to the power 1, 2 to the power 2 times 5 to the power 2, it means this is the one 300 I can make. Another one I can make it as 3 to the power 1 times 2 to the power 2 times 5 to the power 2. Another one, because now I have two fives I used here, 2 5 I used here. Another, let's make 3 to the power 1 times 2 to the power 2 times 5 to the power 2. Again, two fives used here. Total now here we have used the six fives. I have used 6 fives. So two here, and two here. So total 6 I have used. But I can't make further number because I can't make the another 300 because I am lagging with of fives. Only one 5 extra I left. So you can just make like 300 to the power 3. So 32 factorial, in the 32 factorial the power of 300 is 3, because I can make one here, one here, and one here. You can't make more as when we are lagging of 5. So I can say here this 32 factorial has 300 to the power 3. The power of 300 in this 32 factorial here is 3. That is the question is to find what is the power of 300 in 32 factorial. You will be available option as 1 2 3 4. So you have to go up with the 3, right? This is the way of finding the power of a non-prime in a given factorial. This works with the any type of number. I mean, like, no matters how big the numbers are, or how, like, whether even, odd, or anything. So this concept works to find the what is the power of the non-prime in a given factorial, right? Okay, that's